What's good, guys? It's your boy King Solomon back with another video for Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys 5 tips that I wish I knew when I first started this game. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, tip number 1, always check the map when you first spawn into the game. When the game starts, always check the map, because the enemy team will always spawn on the opposite side of your team. So if you guys are looking at the screen, you guys see where I spawned at the top. The enemy team spawned under me towards the south of the map. And as you guys can see, please do not trigger the alarms. This is part of the first tip. Do not trigger alarms. Triggering the alarms is worse than you actually think. If you do manage to trigger the alarms, you will be highlighted by the state. You will be visible to all of the enemy players on the other team. When I mean highlighted by the state, your character will glow. Your character will have like a red outline on you. When your character has that red outline, you will be visible to the enemy players until that red outline is gone. And also, once the alarms are triggered, doors will be locked. You have to break open the doors. It makes it very hard for you to get around and escape if you're trying to get to a certain spot or to a chest, just to get to the extraction point. Triggering the alarms definitely makes things a lot harder than what you think, because there are a lot of guards that rush in once they realize something is going wrong. The state does call in reinforcements, and a lot of them do show up. So it's not wise to just run in there and go Rambo and try to kill everything and rush through all the guards and all that other stuff, because you're going to be constantly fighting, and you will die if you get surrounded by guards. It's just inevitable at that point. Tip 2 is assassinations. Assassinations are definitely a valuable asset in this game. You can assassinate state guards, you can assassinate enemy players, you can assassinate the knights. You cannot assassinate the sheriff. The sheriff you can only steal the key from and take flight. The sheriff, you can down him with an explosive arrow. You can disarm him with gas, or disorient him with the smoke bomb. But you cannot assassinate or kill the sheriff. You can assassinate enemy players while they're in combat. You can assassinate anybody while they're in combat. All you have to do is sneak up behind them and press whatever button you have assigned to the assassinations. I'm going to make a video following up to this tomorrow, going into the assassinations more. I found out that for PlayStation users, if you switch your default assassination button, which is square, to L1, it works better in most scenarios. Because I found out that like our sensitivity for consoles is definitely not as good for as the PC players, because our sensitivity when we're turning the camera is definitely much slower than the PCs. So it's definitely easier to get the assassination off with the L1 for me, because I don't have to sit there and try to turn the camera while trying to press square at the same time. It's a little bit too clunky. It's too annoying. In most scenarios I never get the assassination off, and I die, or somebody else will get the kill. So it definitely works better for me when I switched it to the L1. I'll bring you guys some gameplay tomorrow and show you guys what I mean by that. So moving on to our next tip. When facing the enemy team, do not go all in by yourself. So pretty much just wait for another person to back you up, just to make sure there's not another person on their team lurking in the shadows that can sneak up on you and assassinate you, or shoot you from behind with a crossbow or an arrow, something like that. You want to tag the enemy team when you spot them, just to give your team enough time to get to you and try to help you out, and so you guys can get the chest and get out of there. Because at the end of the day, it's not about killing the enemy team, It's really all about getting the chest out of there and winning the game, getting the gold out of there. So if you're a ranger or the assassin, you guys should try to focus on sticking to the back shadows and sticking in the grass, getting some high ground advantages, getting viewpoints to where you can just get that headshot, or get the assassination. If you are the mystic and the brawler, you guys should definitely be trying to ambush the enemy team together. The mystic and the brawler working together is definitely a deadly combo. If the enemy team is winching the chest, you need to not rush either. Unless they're like really close to the end, you really don't need to rush, because you can really turn the game around at like the last notch and steal the chest. Like that's really all it is about, is just getting the chest out of there. It's not about killing the enemy team. It's not about killing all the NPC players, the NPCs, nothing like that. It's just about getting the chest out of there. So if you guys really want to win, and you really want to play it safe, and you guys want to make sure you get the win, really, I suggest getting the enemy team to winch up to like halfway, if possible, and then go for the brawler first. If he's doing the winching, definitely take him out first. Then you want to take out the mystic. The brawler is the fastest wincher on the team. Out of all the characters, he can pull up the chest the fastest, so that's why I said he's the top priority. If you can communicate with your team to coordinate that kind of strategy, definitely do that. But if you cannot, I would definitely try to do the best I can. If I were you guys, and if I were you guys' shoes, if you weren't able to communicate with your team, just try to do the best you can as far as when it comes to dealing with more than one person at a time. This next tip is very useful. Be mindful of the doors, because this is something the tutorial did not cover. Doors can be broken through. You can easily open the doors and walk through them. This is a very important tip, because the gates can only be lifted by one person, which is the brawler, and the whole team can go through the gate once John has lifted the gate. But every team member can open the door, any door. So you just have to open the door, and any team member can go through it. It's very useful for when the enemy team member has been spotted and you're trying to find them, or when you've been spotted, you're trying to get out of a quick little situation. They're also useful for lockdowns when a thief has been spotted, because like I said earlier, only one person can lift the gate. It definitely makes it a lot easier for you to get away, or for the other person to get away if you're being spotted or has been spotted. In this last tip, we're going to talk about control points. As you can see right here on the screen, I am fighting for B. Control points are definitely valuable in this game, because they bring you back to where you have just died at if you have the control point under your control. So let's say you died at A or C. If you have that control point under your control, you can spawn right back there. Once your respawn timer is over, you can spawn right back there. Your respawn timer does increase the more you die, so be mindful of that. Unfortunately, this game does not do a good job at notifying you when the base has been stolen from you, so you just have to stay mindful of the mini-map and stay mindful of the bases that you have captured. And another thing to look out for is most teams will try to use the nearest winch near the closest the winch nearest their starting spawn. So if you have a control point that's close to their spawn, you'll definitely give your team a fighting chance, because you know where they're spawned at, and you know that they're coming for that winch and that control point in that area. So all your team has to do is stay on the lookout, stay on the defense, and you guys will be good to go. You guys will win the game if you guys can hold the fort down and stay at the chest. So these are 5 tips I wish I knew when I first started for Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I am out. Have a great day. Peace.